Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Marina Nabila binti Zuldin and my metric number is 2411238. So today our group will be diving into the war that shocked many, World War One, that is also known as the Great War, and I'll be starting with an in-depth overview of World War One and the complex factors that lead to its outbreak. So World War One took place from the year 1914 to 1918, that involved the world's major powers at that time, including Germany, Austria-Hungary, the United Kingdom, France, Russia, and later the United States. By the end, over 16 million people had died. It's completely reshaped the world and set the stage for an even bigger war later, World War II. How did it all begin? Even before the war, Europe was already experiencing extreme political tension that had been building for years. Several long-term factors had contributed to these fragile situations. The first major factor was militarism. Militarism is the belief that a country should maintain a strong military capability and be prepared to use it to defend or promote national interests. In the early 20th century, European powers were obsessed with building up their armies and navies, especially Germany and Britain. This became a contest of who could build the most powerful military, and the more weapons they had, the more likely it was someone would use them. And the second factor was the system of alliance. European countries formed military alliance to protect themselves, meaning the country promised to defend each other if attacked, which further led to the tension. By 1914, two major alliances the Triple Alliance, which include Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy, the Triple Entente, which include Britain, France, and Russia. This alliance turned a regional conflict into a world war. The third factor was nationalism. Strong political pride and ethnic identity caused tensions, especially in Eastern Europe. In the Balkans, many ethnic groups under the control of large empires, such as the Austro-Hungarian Empire, wanted independence. Nationalist movement increased hostility between groups and between countries. And the last factors is the imperialism. European countries like Britain, France, and Germany were competing for colonized overseas, especially in Africa and Asia. That led to even more rivalries. Finally, we have the Balkan crisis. The Balkans, a region in Southeast Europe, was known as the powder keg of Europe. After the decline of the Ottoman Empire, power struggle between Austria-Hungary, Serbia, and other Balkan states made the region extremely unstable and waiting to blow, and it finally happened in 1914 with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Hi, my name is Nur Humaira Hood. My matrix number is 2419656. Since we covered what Europe looked like before 1914, let's take a look at how it all started. A lot of people think World War I happened because of assassination. Well, that's true, but the real story is how that one moment triggered a chain reaction that no one could stop. Assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. It all started on June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, he the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. He was visiting Sarajevo, in what's now Bosnia, for military maneuvers. During his visit, a young man named Gavrilo Princip stepped out of a crowd and shot him and his wife, Sophie, killing them both. Princip was just 19, a Bosnian Serb who believed the Slavic people of Balkans had the right to independence. He was part of a secret nationalist organization called the Black Hand. Because of this event, the Austria-Hungary obviously was outraged. They blamed Serbia not only because of the murder but also because encouraging the rebellion. Still, before Austria-Hungary took any actions, they decided to come to Germany, which is their ally, to seek support from them. Germany gave them what historians call a blank check, which is no matter what they do, the Germany will back them up. Therefore, feeling confident, Austria-Hungary sent Serbia an ultimatum on July 23rd with demands so extreme they were almost impossible to accept. Therefore, Serbia tried to compromise, agreeing to most terms, but Austria wasn't interested in peace. Then on July 28, exactly 1 month after the assassination, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Which is, after that, the Russia, a powerful empire and Serbia's closest ally, began mobilizing its army. Russia saw itself as a defender of Slavic people, and they wasn't going to let Austria-Hungary crush Serbia without a fight. Then Germany, Austria ally, saw Russia's mobilization as a direct threat. So on August 1st, Germany declared war on Russia. But Russia wasn't alone. It had strong alliance with France, Germany's western neighbor. Germany knew if it went to war with Russia, France would join in. So just 2 days later, on August 3rd, Germany declared war on France as well, hoping to strike quickly before France could fully prepare. Then come to the turning point, the Schlieffen Plan. This was Germany's long-standing military strategy to avoid fighting a war on two fronts by knocking out France quickly, which is they decided to invade France through Belgium, even though Belgium was officially neutral. Because of this, British decided to declare war on Germany. British had promised to protect Belgium's neutrality and it also feared German dominance on the continent.
Hi, my name is Mariam Diana binti Haris Fendi and my metric number is 2419716. Now I will talk about the effects of World War I in political, economic and social aspects. After the war ended in 1918, a peace conference was held in Paris in 1919. There were representatives from around 13 allied countries who came together to figure out how to rebuild and prevent another war. Among the important figures in this conference were Woodrow Wilson, David Lloyd George, and George Clemenceau. Several peace treaties were signed with the defeated country such as Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria and the Ottoman Empire. And the treaties signed included the Treaty of Versailles with Germany, the Treaty of Saint-Germain with Austria, the Treaty of Neuilly with Bulgaria, the Treaty of Trianon with Hungary and Treaty of Sèvres with Turkey. But the most important one was the Treaty of Versailles, which was signed with Germany. So what did this treaty do? In this treaty, Germany was required to give up its territories and colonies, as well as its special rights in China, Thailand, Morocco and Liberia. Germany was also banned from building any warships, and Germany was held responsible for the war and had to pay reparations to the countries involved. And this caused dissatisfaction among the German people due to the harsh terms placed upon them. And most importantly, the situation also became one of the causes of the outbreak of World War II. Now let's move to the effects of World War II in the political aspect. Number 1, fall of monarchies. Monarchies in Europe were abolished by World War I, leading to the end of royal rule in Germany, Russia and Turkey. For example, the German Emperor Kaiser William II was exiled to the Netherlands while the monarchy ended in Russia due to the Russian Revolution. Number 2, rise of democracy. The fall of monarchies was replaced by democratic governments across Europe. Also, the Republic of Turkey was founded by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, and Austria became a republic after the Habsburg monarchy was abolished. Number 3, emergence of new countries. The Treaty of Versailles changed the world map and led to the formation of new countries such as Poland, Finland, Estonia and Latvia that was formed from Russian Empire. Number 4, growth of internationalism. So, the suffering and destruction caused by World War I brought awareness about the importance of cooperation among nations. This awareness became the foundation of the Paris Peace Conference. Number 5, Germany lost territories. So, in the Treaty of Versailles, Germany need to give their territory and colonies to the winner sides. So, for example, regions like Alsace and Lorraine were given to France and several other regions were given to some victorious power. Number 6, German military power cripple. And through the Treaty of Versailles also, the foundation of German military was dismantled and key military staff were dismissed and Germany was banned from buying any weapons, large cannons and also tanks. Number 7, there's a rise of nationalism. So the First World War sparked nationalism in many nation states and the idea of nationalism became the foundation of for building nation state. One example was President Woodrow Wilson's declaration about the right to self-determination, which influenced nationalist movements in India and Southeast Asia. Okay, now I will be talk about effects in social aspects. Number 1 is loss of lives. As we know, every war there must be a lot of people killed in the war. So here, many soldiers and civilians died. An estimated 9.5 million soldiers were killed, and the war contributed to death of another 6.8 million civilians. Okay, second, increase in women's role. Before this, women don't have so much role in many sectors. But after the World War I, women were given opportunities to fill job vacancies in factories and management sectors. Okay, and number 3, education institutions disrupted. So basically, schools and universities were functioning and had to close when the war began because of the war, and students were also required to join military training and take part in the war. Number 4, development of modern war equipment. Here, many modern weapons and war tools were invented. The use of airplanes and naval ships brought changes to military tactics. Last one is the effects of World War I in economic aspects. Number 1, high war expenses. So, according to economists, it is estimated that about $338 billion was spent by countries involved in the war. And number 2, international debt. For example, Britain's debt was estimated to reach in about 74,315 lakh pounds, and that led them to the international debt. Number 3, increased taxes. High taxes were imposed on the people to cover the huge war expenses. So this actually made their civilians hard to live. Okay, and then number 4, rising prices of goods. Prices of goods rose drastically, causing inflation and leading to hunger and food shortage. And number 5, emergence of non-aligned countries. So World War I caused the third world countries to become contested between two major powers, and these countries did not want to side with either the communist bloc or the capitalist bloc. This led to the establishment of the non-aligned movement, NAM, whose main goal was to maintain world peace without supporting either the West or the communist bloc. Number 6, formation of SEATO. SEATO stands for Southeast Asia Treaty Organization. So there's the Cold War that led to the formation of an anti-communist military alliance known as SEATO, and this alliance was created in order to stop the spread of communism and in the Western Pacific and Southeast Asia. Number 7, arms race. The Cold War led to an arms race between the Soviet Union and United States. Both superpowers competed to produce various types of war and weapons. Okay, that's all from me.
Hi, I'm Nur Ain Atira binti Muhammad Asri, 2412902. Now let's move on to the key figures in World War I and how their actions along with the war itself has shaped the modern world today. Let's get started with a man whose death triggered the war, Archduke Franz Ferdinand. He was the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne and although not a leader during the war itself, his assassination on June 28, 1914 in Sarajevo was the immediate catalyst for the conflict. He advocated for political reform within the Austro-Hungarian Empire, favoring more autonomy for Slavic peoples. This led for him being a target for Serbian nationalists who view his future reign as a threat to independence. Second, then we have Kaiser Wilhelm II from Germany. The bad then Empire of Germany was a key figure in the build-up to the war. His aggressive foreign policy and desire to expand Germany's influence made things worse in already tense Europe. He also made a bold move by dismissing Otto von Bismarck, who has kept European diplomacy balanced with smart alliance. Instead, Wilhelm followed a new approach called Weltpolitik, which a policy focused on building up Germany's power and it backfired. Thirdly is Woodrow Wilson from United States. As we should know, he initially maintains a policy of neutrality. However, in 1917, the US entered the war, citing German unrestricted submarine warfare and the Zimmermann telegram. After the war, Wilson took a central role at the Paris Peace Conference, promoting his 14 points, which emphasizes self-determination, free trade, and the establishment of the League of Nations. Though idealistic, Wilson's vision was only partially realized, and the US Senate ultimately rejected membership in the League. Then there's General Douglas Haig, which is a top British commander on the Western Front. He led major battles like the Somme, Passchendaele, and the 100 Days Offensive. He's still a controversial figure that some say he relied too much on undated tactics that caused huge casualty, while others argue he adapted over time and played a key role in winning the World War I. A skilled French military strategist, Foch became the Supreme Allied Commander in 1918. He successfully coordinated joint operations between British, France, and American forces, particularly during the Second Battle of the Marne and the 100-Day Offensive. He also emphasized aggressive counter-attacks and played a vital role in bringing the war to a conclusion. He said that this is not a peace, it is an armistice for 20 years, foreshadowing a World War II. These military leaders, such as General Douglas Haig and Marshal Ferdinand Foch, commanded a large-scale battles that defined the course of World War I. The legacy of this leader is evident in today's international system. The League of Nations, though ultimately unsuccessful, laid the groundwork for the UN, United Nations. Redrawing of borders in the Middle East and Eastern Europe continues to influence modern political tension. All in all, the war marked the beginning of the decline of empire and the rise of nationalist movement that we know that shaped the modern nation state today. Thank you.